Is India's dominance fading in South Asia? Once the unchallenged leader of the subcontinent is now facing new challenges and new rivals with shifting alliances. In this video, we are going to talk about the changing dynamics of South Asia and what it means for India's role in the near future. Now, let's start with Bangladesh. India's closest strategic partner currently in South Asia has been Bangladesh, and that is due to the relationship that the former PM of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, shared with the current Indian government and with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The current events taking place in Bangladesh, they have a significant impact on the ties between the two countries, and the relationship between Sheikh Hasina and the Indian government could be of concern, and we are going to talk about that in a minute. So currently Mohammad Yunus has been appointed as the interim chief advisor of Bangladesh, but it seems that the Bangladeshi army is currently controlling the politics of the country, and if elections take place in Bangladesh, the opposition parties, BNP, which is Bangladesh Nationalist Party, as well as Jamaat-e-Islami, coalition of the two parties, is going to likely win the elections in Bangladesh. And both of these parties, they share an anti-India approach, an anti-India sentiment, and a pro-China as well as a pro-Pakistan approach. So that is going to be of concern to India moving forward if that happens in Bangladesh. Providing temporary asylum to Sheikh Hasina could also be of concern to India because as per certain reports and certain sources, it is likely that the new Bangladeshi government could ask India for the extradition of Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh. And that will be of concern to India because on one hand, India has shared a good relationship with Sheikh Hasina, and now India does not want to ruin the ties between the two countries, and India moving forward has to establish good relations with the new Bangladeshi government. Whichever party comes into power, India has to maintain those ties. Now, another concerning situation over here is the current events taking place in Bangladesh, the current violence against minorities, specifically Hindus, that are taking place in Bangladesh. That has also caused disturbance at the India-Bangladesh border. The 4,096 kilometer long India-Bangladesh border is at high risk right now because a lot of Bangladeshi Hindus, they would try to escape Bangladesh and move into India. And not only that, but that could also cause some communal disturbances within the country itself, specifically in West Bengal. So the Indian government is currently in touch with the Bangladeshi army to ensure that the minorities are protected and their rights are preserved. Now, although Sheikh Hasina maintained good relations in the last 10 years with the Indian government, that does not mean that Sheikh Hasina was not working with China. Bangladesh was working with China under the leadership of Sheikh Hasina. In fact, Chinese companies invested roughly about $26 billion between 2016 and 2022. However, at that point of time, that was not a major concern for India. But moving forward, if the new party comes into power, chances are that the ties between the two countries could be hampered. Now, coming to Nepal. Now, India and Nepal have shared friendly relations ever since India and Nepal's friendship treaty took place in 1950. So both of these countries, they have shared good relations, so much so that the citizens of either of the two countries, Indians as well as Nepalese citizens, they do not need a passport to travel between the two countries. However, there has been a recent rise in the relationship between the Communist Party of Nepal as well as the Communist Party of China. And in fact, China has been responsible for the merger of the two major communist parties of Nepal. And the two parties together, they are known as Nepal Communist Party. Now, earlier in 2017, Nepal also signed the Belt and Road Initiative with China. And now, recently, last year, Nepal signed 12 other major agreements with China. Now, with China's involvement in Nepal's politics and the growing relationship and treaties and agreements between the two countries, it seems that China's influence over Nepal is also growing. And that is also of concern to India moving forward. Moving to another neighboring country of India, Bhutan. Now, India and Bhutan's relationship has been a special relationship, and both of these countries have shared diplomatic ties since 1968. And when we talk about the relationship between Bhutan and China, they have not shared diplomatic ties, and that is also because of the border issues between Bhutan and China. Now, China has been asking Bhutan to establish those diplomatic relations as well as solving the border issues between the two countries, and it seems that the two countries are moving forward in that direction. Now, Bhutan is the only country in the South Asian region that has not agreed to China's Belt and Road Initiative, but China is trying its level best to include Bhutan in its Belt and Road Initiative. Now, it seems, as I mentioned earlier, that the two countries, they're going to establish their diplomatic ties soon, and they're going to solve their border issues soon, because Bhutan at this point of time, it does not want to depend solely on India. It wants to depend on both of the big countries, the neighboring two countries, not just India. So it will be interesting to see where the relationship between the two countries, Bhutan and China, they head towards, and how that relationship will impact the relationship that already exists between Bhutan and India. Now, talking about India's neighboring island country, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, under the leadership of the Rajapaksa family, it shared good relations with the Chinese Communist Party. So much so that the then Sri Lankan government actually ended up signing a 99-year lease with a Chinese company, and Sri Lanka fell into the Chinese debt trap. Now, ever since the ouster of the Rajapaksa family from Sri Lanka, India's relationship, they're getting better with the current Sri Lankan government. India even helped and was one of the first countries to help Sri Lanka in its crisis by providing an assistance of over $1.4 billion in line of credit. However, an island between the two countries, between India and Sri Lanka, did upset the Sri Lankan media. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi accused the Indian National Congress under the leadership of Indira Gandhi back in the 1970s of giving away an island between the two countries called the Kachtivu Island, which was a part of India, to Sri Lanka. Now, while this issue has not been taken up by the Sri Lankan parliament, it has not been taken up by the Sri Lankan government because India has not asked for Sri Lanka to give back the island, or India has not claimed it ever since. But it has certainly garnered critique by the media of Sri Lanka. Now, despite the critiques by the Lankan media, there have been no talks regarding this particular island between the two countries. There is yet another island nation that we need to talk about, which is Maldives. Maldives, under the leadership of Mohammad Muizzu, has shifted its stance from a pro-India approach to a pro-China approach. In fact, Mohammad Muizzu was actually leading the India out movement in Maldives from the front and actually won elections on the basis of this campaign. Not only that, as soon as he came to power, he asked for the Indian military to be removed from the island, and soon after that, it also signed a military agreement with China. However, soon after adopting this anti-India approach and signing the military agreement with China, there also seemed to be a shift in tone of Maldives. Maldives said that India has been Maldives' closest ally, but that was also due to Maldives' financial situation. Maldives wanted India's financial assistance. And not only that, after these remarks and this call, India actually provided a $50 million assistance to Maldives. So when we look at the situation in Maldives, with the current government, the new government in power, it started off with an anti-India approach, then moved towards a pro-China policy, and now is shifting back to asking for India's assistance. However, this does not mean that there has been any change in the relationship between Maldives and China. Finally, coming to India's western neighbor, which is Pakistan. Now, India's political relationship with Pakistan has never been good ever since India got its independence from the British. And this is how China has been able to provide financial assistance to Pakistan to one up on India. China is well aware of the relationship between the two countries, between India and Pakistan. And it also knows that the relationship between the two countries, they're not going to be improved in the near future. And it is taking full advantage of the situation. Pakistan was never in India's corner. And now it seems that Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, Bhutan, and now Bangladesh, they are moving in that direction, in the direction of establishing good ties with China. However, at this point of time, it does not mean that they are becoming anti-India. But this certainly does mean that India's influence in the South Asian region is diminishing. With that being said, what do you think? Do you think that India's influence in the South Asian region is fading away? And if so, do you think that this is because of the current Indian leadership, or is this because of China's growing influence in the world overall? And with that, it's growing resources as well. What do you think is the reason? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, please share this video with your friends and family. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.